Hi, welcome to Dharma.TV. This is show number 10. And to begin with tonight, I would like to meditate for one moment or 1 minute. And so if you would meditate with me, please. Okay. Now, I'd like to this week we'll get to the questions in the second half. And in the first half, I'd like to go back over what we were discussing last show, which was emptiness, and talking about emptiness and how we should be seeing emptiness. There are many books written and descriptions written on how to see emptiness, but I prefer it if you see it in this way, and that you see it in the way of a steady state, so that we are all appearances, as it's said, form is content, and form is emptiness, and emptiness is form. So that, therefore, all appearances that we see, all appearances that we hear, smell, taste, touch, or think, all of these appearances are how emptiness appears to us at that moment. Now, so we can say then that we have a steady state of emptiness at every moment. We're always aware of something, even if we are aware of quiet. We are still aware of something, and each of these things that we are aware of, in turn, are the steady state of emptiness, what we want to refer to as the steady state of the movement of emptiness. Now, the technical explanation, technical definition for emptiness is no size, no color, no center, no edge, and constant change. So in this change, then, we want to refer to this change as movement, so that things are always moving around us, and we become aware of them as we become aware of them. So the steady state allows us to understand that all things are just one more thing, and that everything that occurs is simply the next thing, or one more thing, or the next thing. Now, so then we can say that nothing enters or exits the mind. Everything is within our mind, so nothing comes into our mind or leaves our mind. We simply pay attention to it as the next appearance, or we don't, and we let go of it when we let go of it. Now, the thing that I would wish to discuss for today is along those same lines, and that we can recognize the movement in emptiness as unconditional love, and that we can see this as love occurring all around us. Now, we can say then that all things are particles, so that all appearances that coalesce out of emptiness are formed in particles of something. And as such, therefore, even our thoughts are somehow particles of something. So therefore we can say that unconditional love inhabits every particle, or we could additionally say that the essence of Buddha is in every particle. Or we could say that the very nature of all appearances is the essence of Buddha, or unconditional love. So the very nature of an appearance then. And what stops us from seeing this? So if this is the case, then why do we not see it in everything? And why are there certain situations where we feel we pick up a newspaper and read about something going on, something horrific, and we wonder to ourselves, well, how could people ever do something like that? It can be difficult to see the love in a situation of this nature. Many times we look about and we don't see the love there. So what we can say then is, of course, we have a habitual dualistic response to all appearances. This is our habit. It is the thing that we wish to cut the root of. It said we wish to cut the root of dualism. And so therefore, this is something that our practice that we seek to do. We seek to become non-dualistic. Now, our dualistic response is always going to be either attachment or separation, attraction or aversion. This is to all rising phenomena. Now, so all things rise, all appearances rise. We can say that all appearances are phenomena. We can use that word. That we can say that everything that we notice is another phenomena in emptiness that coalesces out of emptiness, and it reflects the movement of emptiness. But our dualistic response blocks all aspects of receiving these appearances as having an inherent level of unconditional love within them. So if we become attached to something, then we don't see the love in it. If we become, we have aversion to something, we don't see the love in it. If we feel separation from another appearance, another person, another appearance, this group doesn't think like I do. These people, sometimes you hear people say, I wonder why I'm on this planet, kind of thing. But what we're saying there is we feel an intense separation, a sense of separation there. And that separation that we're feeling is dualism. And that is incorrect. That is not a part of our practice. Part of our practice is that we do not want to be dualistic. We do not want to be attached to something. We do not want to feel separation, attraction, or aversion. These are the things to be avoided. Now, this can be very difficult, and it's not like it's an overnight process. It takes time to be able to train yourself and to find the path, really, to not finding something attractive or finding it something to have aversion to. So this is not easy, and this is hard work, and this takes time. Now, if we're attached to something, then we're going to divide it into good or bad. That's what we're going to do. That's how the process works. This is good, this is bad. Or some rendition of it. We could say, well, I prefer this one. That one is, awful or not for me or whatever. But what we're doing here is we're dividing into good and bad. And the way to avoid this is that we can begin to train ourselves and take an hour a day or 5 hours a day, whatever it is, and say to ourselves, I don't want to divide into good and bad. So what I'm going to do is all the appearances that I encounter, I'm just going to accept the experience of that appearance. I'm not going to say that it's good or bad. I'm not going to talk to myself about it in those terms. I'm not going to prefer it. I'm not going to not prefer it. I'm just going to experience it. I'm going to experience every appearance, which is the reflection of the movement of emptiness. I'm going to experience it as emptiness. I'm not going to see it as having basis in fact. I'm not going to say that it's better than another thing. Now, if we do that, we no longer obstruct the recognition of love, unconditional love. Now, the way to see unconditional love is to look at every situation, every appearance that appears to you, and look for the love in it. Just look for love. in this appearance. At first, it may seem like an odd thing to do, but if we take each appearance separate, and we look, and we think to ourselves, where is the love here? If we're really looking, we will see it. We will see something, and we will find a clarity in our mind, and something will begin to rise in our minds, which is very clear. And we can call this the clear light practice. So this is referred to as a clear light practice, where we are looking for the universal at all times. We are looking for unconditional love at all times, in every appearance. It's there. In every appearance, it's there. So if we're looking, we will find it. And I would ask you this time to spend some time in your practice and to consider this and to begin to look for the unconditional love in every appearance. To look for this and to regard this as a clear light practice. So my practice is a clear light practice. I'm looking for clarity. I'm looking for clear light. I'm looking for the universal in every appearance that comes to me. This is food, smells, tastes, touch, thoughts. This is what I'm looking for. Now, I will continue to come back to this clear light practice. This is a very important practice, and this brings us very close to the state of awareness. And we also want to be working on dualism. We want to eliminate dualism, and it's not easy. We have habits, and our habits, our habitual response to things are dualistic. When we see dualism rise, we need to see it, be honest with ourselves, and tell ourselves that we no longer want to do this. That we want to see things not as good or bad, which is dualism, but we just wish to accept everything as it comes. Just accept everything. So we don't want to be critical, we don't want to be judgmental, we don't want to prefer one thing over another. We just wish to be. Now, in the second half, and this is something that I will continue to discuss. In the second half of the show, we have a question. So, let's go to the question. Hi. Okay, so the question for this show is, I'll read it and then I'll talk about it. I have a question on mindfulness, and this was sent in by someone who is watching the podcast. I have a question, and there are many of you watching the podcast, and there are many of you writing in. And I remind you that if you have questions, please do not hesitate to send them in, and I will answer them as I can get to them. I have a question on mindfulness and having a clear mind as you go through your day. From several podcasts I've listened to, the stress seems to be that of a clear, focused mind is the objective, and that daydreaming or reflections on the past or future are to be avoided. It is likely that I am misinterpreting this, but wouldn't it be correct to allow for some mind wandering and reflection during our days? I'm still a little foggy on the intent, on what the intent should be on areas of planning ahead, etc., while balancing living in the moment. Okay, well, let's start at the beginning here. Yes, okay. The objective is to have a clear, focused mind, because our mind is only clarity, and the various things that rise within it are momentary reflections of the movement of emptiness, so that all of our mind, the quality of our mind is clarity. And now, crystal clear clarity, like the blue sky without the color blue. That is the true mind. Now, so when you ask this question, then clear focused mind is the objective, and that daydreaming or reflections on the past or future are to be avoided. This is incorrect. Um, all things rise in our mind, and we, in the human form, we cannot stop these various things that rise within our mind. So things, appearances will be constantly rising in our mind. That is who we are as a form. This form that you and I are, we have things rising constantly from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep at night. And during the night, we dream and so on and so forth and become aware of certain things, heat, cold, that sort of thing. So these things rise involuntarily. They're always rising. We should not be trying to eliminate them. We cannot eliminate them. This would be incorrect to eliminate them or to think that we can. We cannot. We can, in this practice, we do not wish to become a different person. All we wish to do is uncover the real person that we are, our real Buddha nature. That is who we are, yet we are covered with layer after layer after layer of dualistic thinking. So if all things are rising, things constantly rise during the day, then we will have reflections on the past or the future. This is natural and normal. Now what we want to do is to allow them to let go. We wish to learn to let go of them, understanding that these, if they're a response to an exterior appearance, then it's part of that appearance. Now, if we're simply sitting and we begin to daydream, those are inner appearances. And they are still appearances, and we need to just simply let go of them. So if that means we have daydreaming and we find ourselves daydreaming for a few minutes, fine. When we recognize that we're daydreaming, recognize it as a daydream and recognize it as a movement of emptiness. And if we wish to let go of it at that time, then let go of it. If it's troubling you, then let go of it. Learn to let go of it. In meditation, we sit in meditation and we have many thoughts that rise. They say in meditation, you begin to meditate and you star in your own movie. So we have many thoughts that rise in meditation, and we can find ourselves meditating and 5 minutes later think to myself or to yourself, oh, I've been thinking about this for the last 5 minutes, yet I'm not quite sure what I was thinking about, but I know it was something about this particular thing. This happens in meditation, but what we want to come to the state where as these things occur, we recognize them. Remember, our goal in mahamudra practice is to become aware of all of our thoughts, every one of our thoughts. If we are aware of every one of our thoughts, then we can let go of all of our thoughts. We cannot let go of them if we are not aware of them. So we need to become aware of all of our thoughts. So the misconception here is that we wish to stop our thoughts. We do not wish to stop our thoughts. That is something that we cannot do. Thoughts will rise, appearances rise, but we wish to be able to listen to them, to understand what's happening, and to let go of it, and not be attached to it. This is what we're looking for. So yes, okay. Wouldn't it be correct to allow for some mind wandering and reflection during our days? Yes, our mind will wander. Yes, reflections of the movement of emptiness are ever present. It's a steady state of reflections of the movement of emptiness. Emptiness is a steady state. It is always there. We can almost think of it as pulsing, and that our mind receives these pulses. So remember that emptiness is something that our ears hear. They say all sound is mantra. All sound is the voice of the Buddha. All things we see are emptiness. all things we taste are emptiness, and so forth. So, to go on, it says, I am still a little foggy on what the intent should be on areas like planning ahead, etc., while balancing living in the moment. Well, we need to plan ahead. That's our form. That's part of our form. We need to reflect on the past. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to go to work every day. So if we're doing that, then balancing living in the moment means that we're aware of our thoughts, and as such, we want to pay attention to them. If we're planning ahead, that's fine, we're working. If we're working, we need to follow those thoughts if we're working. And planning ahead is following our thoughts. That is how it is. Now, that's it for today. I would again ask you to send in questions about the things that you are having issues with, and I will see you on the next show. Bye-bye.